Hey, it's me again. Of course, right when I want to start the stream, I start coughing, so I'll try not to cough into the mic, but, you'll have to forgive me or excuse me if it slips through, so. Anyway, I'm debating, like, do I want to listen to my own music, or should I just play something in the background? I'll figure it out after break. Let me just get back into this into this project, so. I'm not gonna drag out the intro like last video and go over all the go over like what everything is again, but I will mention briefly just what I am working on, because it might, for newcomers it might be like, oh, is he making a game? No, I'm not making a game. I'm working on my asset pack. Well, it's pretty much done, like, to be honest. A lot of it is done. So it's a 3D asset pack for game devs or hobbyists, or you want to make animations. Excuse me. And last stream I found a few flaws in it, so I won't go over what I found. I fixed a bunch of stuff, and I fixed those things, and I took care of what I had to do. And, while I was fixing things, I decided, well, I don't like some of these cracks, right? Like the decals, whatever they're called. So I took away the shininess. Like, I got rid of the normal maps associated with them because it looked stupid, in my opinion. And last but not least, again, you'll have to excuse me, I'm not a pixel artist, spriter kind of person. But I took it upon myself to make some vines, some vine decal. I'm gonna call them decals. I don't care. I made some vine decals. So I made one that's kind of like creeping down, and some have like branches, and yeah, you get the idea. Well, anyway, with that being said, oh man, my throat. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. With that being said, I am actually just getting footage for my animation, like my advertisement video. So I need to create a few builds, like some layouts to to demonstrate how it all works together. So that's the purpose of the stream. Like, that's what I'll be doing. And just to reiterate, no, I'm not making a game. This is not a game. This is a 3D models that I've been working on, but the cool thing is a lot of these models can be used for making a game. It's kind of the intention I had here, but you have to forgive me. I'm like trying to talk and not cough at the same time, so. That being said, let's just get into it, and I can kind of talk a little bit about what I did here. So if we look on the walls here, I added these the decals, right? Some cracks. Well, I don't know what that looks like to you, but I'm just gonna say it's a crack. And the addition of vines, just animated, so you kind of see how the lighting reacts to everything. I really like the vines. Like, I was actually really surprised at. Oh shit! I was really surprised at Again, you'll have to bear with me. I think I might be getting sick now. Well, like I was saying, using these vine decals really helps sell the, not sell, I guess, break up the monotony of these walls, right? That's why I tried to add banners, tried to add different lights, barrels, crates, all that good stuff. So if we walk through here, you kind of see I was trying to build like a library, like a excuse me, I'm really sorry. A dungeon-themed library, so I was like, okay, it's gotta have a treasure chest, gotta have like, a table with some books, some gems, stuff like that. Gotta have a weapon rack by the door. You gotta protect yourself. And yeah, I mean that's the general idea. I mean, like, it's pretty much all I got really to say. And with adding some decals, like, it really really, you know, it just breaks up the the monotony of this. So it doesn't look like a, you know, like a brand new dungeon or something. You know, it kind of looks like it's been here a while. And that was the kind of world building, you know, like the kind of story I wanted to make here. I was like, okay, there's gonna be debris laying on the ground and like, I don't know, like moss or vines creeping on the walls. So that being said, I'm just gonna continue building this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna do it. And also, I have this pixel camera, which is adds a little bit of glare to the camera, and it well, you can kind of see for yourself. It makes like the textures pixelated, right? So look at this painting, right? I mean, probably not the best example, but without it, it's kind of clear, shiny. With it, it adds like you know, like that banding to the light and stuff like that. So I'll be bouncing like back and forth between these filters, like pixel filter and without it. It's, I don't know, I just like it. It makes it feel a little bit more, what's the word? Dungeon crawling type? I don't know, like it gives it more of a dungeon crawling vibe. But yeah, I intend to, I'll probably animate this for like the end video, you know, like pan it across, something like that. Just to give an idea of like, okay, this is the kind of stuff you can build using these assets. For your game, for my, this is not my game, like this, I'm not making a game at the moment, but if I were, then I guess I would watch that advertisement video and then understand that, okay, yeah, I can make a game with this. Which is kind of weird to say, because like, I'm like, this is my pack, I don't need to watch that video. So, but it's, yeah, anyway. Let's just get into it. So, that was like a brief tour of my, you know, my MTV crib. You know, this is my dungeon, you know, this is where I study, this is where my, you know, I keep my belongings, you know, got my weapons at the door, but even got like a couple paintings, you know, but let's get into it, let's just keep adding to this. So I'm gonna branch out from this route. Actually, I want to try one thing, sorry. I'm trying not to talk, because if I talk, I'll end up coughing, then kind of rude to cough into the mic when you're streaming. So what I'm doing here, I'm just gonna add a ceiling because I feel like I need to see the light reflecting off the ceiling. I don't need to, but let's just say I want to. So to keep things organized, I'm actually gonna put this in my ceiling collection here. Close these and focus on this one here. So as you can see, if I turn off the first floor, okay, all the objects and stuff are gone. Second floor, top of the second floor is gone. Ceiling, that piece is gone. So instead of dragging and dragging and dragging, you know, each piece, I just take one. Excuse me, I'm really sorry. Take one piece, duplicate it over, or I like to instance it. Maybe rotate it a bit, and then just copy and paste. I would turn on screen keys if you're wondering, but I think I updated my Blender so I can't turn it on. So I don't know why. Maybe I have to get the newest version of screen keys, but to be honest with you, that's kind of not my priority right now. My priority is to build this dungeon. Okay, check this out. Pop it into full screen. Put it in render. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That works much better with the ceiling involved. And if you're wondering why it's bumpy and shiny, it's like I thought it was a flat color. It is a flat color. And actually it's a flat cube, right? Like there's very minimal geometry to this. But I learned how to bake textures, I learned how to do normal maps, so using these little techniques I kind of gave it fake depth, I guess you could call it. Like it maybe not fake, but like just look at it without the filter just to get an idea. So I like this. Like honestly, I really like this. This feels very, and again, I'm no expert on any of this, but I kind of feel like having the ceiling helps bounce the light back onto the floor. I don't know if that's if that works in Eevee, but also I was gonna mention from last stream, I actually updated my little flashlight now. So before it used to be like a really bright beam, you get close to things and it would let me just show you. Turn off the lighting for a bit. So yeah, before it'd be like a flashlight, you know what I mean? But now I just have it like spotlight, so it's like anytime I get close to something, it's just like a little ball of light around me. So I feel like it kind of works better for my purposes on this. Oh no. Oh no, that gem is floating. That can't be good. I don't give a fuck at this point. I really don't care. Watch me tweak it next stream. But yeah, you can kind of see like it's I can change the lighting just a little bit here. So yeah, it was like a spotlight, and I think it was like 250 or something. It kind of feels like I don't know, found footage or something. You know, you're exploring this abandoned place. But again, like I just to not interfere too much with the lighting, I'm just gonna keep it as a point light and then drop it down to just 25. So it's a very weak kind of light. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Let's just continue building onto this. Turn the lights back on. You know, I caught my hands and all the candles turn on. Yeah, let's continue. Let's just continue building this. I got a ceiling going. I kind of like it, so let's see what I can come up with here. Oh, and I'm gonna turn off all these, the rest of these, just so I can optimize the scene a little bit better. Just so things run a little bit smoother, because I'm just gonna change the colors of these more. They'll stick out better. So let's continue back on the first floor. Why not? What are we gonna build here? And one last thing. I know I keep chatting about. Let's turn off the actually, so that doesn't bug me, disturb me. So we have a library, a study. I don't know what you call it. But I call it a library. Very tiny library. You know, they're kind of underfunded. There's a bunch of budget cuts. To make room. Anyway, I don't know why I said that. Let's continue. Let's try and make something like another room. Let's make a corridor. I think that would be cool. You know, like a. Just see how these. Okay, yeah. So these are. Let's make a corridor. Rotate this. And you're probably like, why are you rotating it? Because if I don't, then it just looks too tiled. It looks too repeatable, you know what I mean? So let's, okay, as I said, I'm gonna repeat it anyways. Something like that works for me, you know, just 4 of these tiles. And if you're wondering, I'm not copying and pasting, I'm holding Alt and D on instancing. And what that means is if I change one, it changes all. So I think it's a more optimal way of doing it, so again, I'm not an expert on Blender. I don't really know the inner workings of this engine or anything like that. I just do this stuff because it's fun. So, okay, we have our, let's just zoom out here. This is our study. This is a corridor. Okay. So let's go here. Something like that. And then you know what? Let's use a staircase. I don't think I've showcased the stairs yet. Let's go with wooden stairs for now. And you know, it's up to you. You can put them off grid in the middle of the 2 floors, however you want to do it. But I will just be lazy and do a double set of stairs like that. So we're gonna go up to the 2nd floor here. And I feel like that should have a different floor. I'll go 2nd floor. And I feel like it should have a different floor pattern to it. So let me see what we use. This colorful brick. This one. Oh, you know what? I got an idea. I'm gonna quickly replace these. Because I'm thinking if the first floor... Okay, hold up. Check this out. Yeah, this is gonna be cool. Because it's a corridor, right? I mean, like, you're not gonna have intricate tiles or anything. You know, it's just cobblestone, like random stones, like this kind of stone. We're gonna do that for the hallway, or the, whatever I called it, corridor. And yeah, I gotta say, like, it's actually kind of fun to work with this pack. I'm actually really glad that I took it on. Ended up spending so much time making it and making it modular and all that nitty gritty technical stuff. But it's honestly, it's really fun to play with. It's really cool. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If it's just a corridor, then it's just this bumpy cobblestone. And when we go up to the 2nd floor. When we go up to the 2nd floor, we will have much more, I don't know what the term, like higher quality floor, more opulent floor. And we'll do, yeah, okay, maybe it's another corridor. We just, you know, that's what I want to make these like, today. Just make nothing but corridors. So set the rotation, rotate by 90. Oh, and bring it down, it probably helps too. So here I gotta think. Okay, like, so I designed it purposely this way, right? But check this out. Just give me one ceiling, move these to 2nd floor. I know I shouldn't like have to keep everything so organized, but I kind of do it just for I can turn things off in layers. I feel like that helps me. That helps me personally, so I just do that. It helps me visualize like what needs to be done, what isn't done. So what I was saying is I'll briefly talk about it here. Notice how this floor is a different pattern, and this wall is a different pattern, the ceiling is a different pattern. I had an idea for a corridor. What if it was all just, what if the corridor was all like a uniform type of material kind of thing, right? Well, I guess it'd be more like a cave. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna keep building it that way. And actually, I had a better idea, actually. Maybe because it's... Well, there's no, like, lore reason. It's just, you know, how I'm building it. But let's just say it's a smaller corridor. Yeah, okay. I can probably just full screen it so I have a little bit more real estate to play with. Again, maybe this is not the best way to do it because it's so uniform, but again, you know, just play around with it and see how it works. Bring these walls up. Yeah, so something like this is, I feel like is starting to look nice. And notice how I keep my grid snap on, just so I can snap things to the grid. So I guess this would count as the ceiling layer. So it might be overkill, like what I'm doing here, but I feel like it helps to just keep things organized. Down on the first, so let's just test it real quick. Get rid of the first floor. Okay, so and this stuff would count as the second floor. That's on the second floor. That should be in the second floor. I think I said, yeah, that should be ceiling. Okay. So let's just quickly look at this. I'll just get rid of the ceiling for now. So, all of this. Wish there was like a better way to. Oh, I could probably just do this. Yeah. I hit the C button, and I just kind of paint over it. Throw all that into the first floor. And that's the second floor. Yeah, okay, good. Now we're getting somewhere. So I will choose a type of pillar to put in between these. Or I won't, because I can't select it. Of course, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing here. Yeah, let's quickly just throw in some pillars on this. So yeah, let's just look through here. Maybe I will turn the flashlight back on. I kind of feel like it helps to see things. Put it back on spot, go to 50. That seems kind of, I don't know, I'm not an architect, I'm not like a, like I don't, I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff, so. Anyway, let's, I can just make it bright like this. Let's add some pillars into this. I'm trying to think if it's just an underground corridor, what kind of pillar would we need? Probably wouldn't be something too heavy duty, right? Where's the center of it? Oh, okay, yeah, it's in the center. No, it's not. I don't know if I like that. Maybe something smaller. That's a stone pillar, then we're going like wooden pillars. I don't know, maybe we'll just go back to stone. We'll go pillars, stone. This one's okay. Okay, I'll go with this one. I'm not gonna be too nitpicky about this. So again, I'm gonna throw that into first floor and duplicate it. And just duplicate that again like that. Yeah, you can kind of see it's very easy, like very quick to make like a level or whatever you want to call it, like a layout. So I know me, I want to light this place up. For some reason, I have like this penchant for like lighting things. I don't know why. Maybe not. Turn on the wrong setting. Oh my. Things are flickering, things are glowing, and we enter the corridor, and we come across these wooden steps. Now that I think about it, hold on. I want this to be further back. Fine. Yeah, I'll just delete it because these are already in the proper category. So if I just duplicate them, it fits better. Maybe I want like a bigger opening, you know what I mean? No, I don't want to fall off the edge. Yeah, I feel like that kind of works better. Like you have a bigger ceiling before the stairs. So that's dope. I like it. Okay, this is the fun part. I know I'm like obsessed with lighting for some reason, but can you blame me? Maybe you can. Maybe you can. What kind of light should we put in here? I feel like in a little corridor like that, we would have just find these flames. Just a sec. Yeah. Don't tell me. I knew it. Okay. Yeah, so... Okay, I have an idea. I have a fix, but I want to explain it just because you're probably like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Notice this wiggly lamp up here? That's what's casting the shadow, okay? Now watch what happens when I move it forward. It gets cut off. You see that? So, instead of bitching and, you know, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll adjust that light. Why don't I just shut up? No, why don't I just extend the ceiling out more? Right? You get what I'm saying? It's like, why redo a bunch of things when really a simple, quick, dirty fix would probably suffice? Yeah, something like that. And then we enter, and then it's... I don't know, maybe I'll put like sconces or something, because those might work. I would put down like little candles, but they don't really light up that much. And I'll just turn off my flashlight. Put it back on point 25. And I'm gonna quickly just close these doors, just because, yeah, because I said so. But yeah, as you can see, like these little candles, they don't really light up that much. And you know, obviously I did that intentionally. So what other types of lights can I put in here? Hey, it works. Okay, I'm happy. Sort of happy. I am happy. Yes, I'm very happy. You can tell from my voice. Ooh, spooky. So yeah, I will put lanterns here because their light source does not bleed up into the ceiling, right? Notice how this is a lower ceiling. I can't use these candle stands. I gotta populate it with these lanterns. And they don't give off the most light, I'll admit, but we can duplicate them. Or to change things up, we can actually just put down a bunch of them. And I did this intentionally. Why is this? Something's going on here. I made each variant metal, stone, wood. I made them have different brightnesses, different flickering rates, so it's not so uniform. Otherwise, it just, I don't know, it kind of doesn't feel it. It doesn't. It looks too uniform, right? I mean, uniformity is not a bad thing, but I'm going for like a dungeon, you know what I mean? Like, this shit's been here for, like, longer than I've been here. So, like, yeah, that is fucking sick. Oh, man. So, not to get too carried away, but what happens... Instance those, and go down in box. Rotate. So just to show you, I'm gonna step outside my little camera. I don't have the light source anymore. Full screen this. The fun part, I'll turn on the pixel filter because I gotta have that spooky pixelated filter. I mean, is it lit up a bit too much? Perhaps. But it's my dungeon, so I get to do what I want. And, you know, like, I mean, the idea being if it was your dungeon, you could do what you want. So... I have an idea, actually. I have a good idea here. I'm just gonna turn off those extras, because I don't need to see all those extra lines in the way. Or maybe I do, you know, I just don't want to see them. Duplicate that again and take a wall piece. So you can see, like, it helps to be organized, but sometimes I kind of get carried away and then organize later, you know what I mean? So let's put this candle. Again, I don't know what the technical name, it's like a candelabra. I call it a candle stand because I'm very, as you can see, I'm a very educated man. And yeah, as you can see, we have our ambient light source, right? I don't know, again, it's not a game, but let's just call it like the player source, the player light source. Now, again, if this was a higher up light source, and again, you don't have to stick to the grid, right? You could do it however you see fit, kind of thing. Right? But you're probably wondering, it's like, what the fuck is this thing floating on? Well, you could put a table there, and that's kind of what I was intending. Again, it's entirely up to you, however you want to design this, right? Maybe you don't want a table, maybe you want two tables stacked on top of each other. Like, you ask yourself, like, who the hell designed this dungeon? It's like, well, it's a very interesting story. Why don't I tell you about it sometime? Again, I made these things to snap to grid, but sometimes it's good not to snap to grid, you feel me? For the pieces like the floors, the walls and stuff, yeah, it makes sense to snap to grid. Other stuff, maybe not. Oh, actually, I just had an idea. Instead of stacking two tables like a bizarre person, why don't we just add a shelf? Yeah, I have a shelf that can attach to the wall. And I'll do it on the side here. So yeah, something like that I think works. Does it make the most sense? It's like, why would you put a stand? Hey, again, like, it's not real. It's not real life. It's just a dungeon pack, okay? It's just a demonstration of what's possible. I personally think it's dope. Like, yeah, I would definitely put a candle stand up on a shelf. Maybe that's not the dungeon etiquette, but, you know, I don't know, I mean, it makes sense to me. It's like, I need a light source, I just put it up on the shelf. And you know, it's world build a bit. I put it up there because, you know, I don't want people to climb up and grab it and pull it down. How are we gonna light this area? So, let's try a different light source. Let's try torches. So again, I got sconces. And I made sure that things line up, you can kind of like see, they line up in the center and stuff like that, so. This one I'm just gonna get lazy, I'm just gonna duplicate it again. No, I will not get lazy, because I have the asset browser right in front of me. Just bring this back, not hide it. Rotate it. And I'll push it to the center of that wall. That bugs me if it's not centered. That really shouldn't bug me, but you'd be surprised how much little things can get to me. This looks good to me. I really like this now. This is a nice lit up basement area to the, like, remember, this goes to the library, right? It's like, yo, let me, where your library at? You know, I gotta study for an exam. It's college, down the stairs. Just go down here and go into like the dungeon. I don't know what's every time I hit the minus key, it turns off the music. And I hit the plus key and it turns it off. Yeah, I'll try not to fuck around with that too much. But yeah, like I was saying, okay, you know, like we're coming on down the hallway. It's like dark and not very safe to walk on. So we're coming through. Let me turn on the pixel filter because I like it. Coming through, it's like, alright, I gotta study. I'll come down to the basement area. And it's like, oh shit. You got a little hideout down here. So, like, again, I'm not really, like, I guess it's not again, it's like the first time I'm telling this on stream, on this stream, but I'm not like a dungeon crawler kind of guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, this past year I've been getting more and more into the genre, like, obviously, but what I'm getting at is, like, if someone like me can kind of world build and build out this bizarre area, then I'm pretty sure in the right hands you can make some pretty damn interesting levels, because levels, animations, like if you wanted to just make a spooky movie or whatever. Actually, I kind of want to try that out. I think that'd be kind of cool. Pan it, you know, you gotta do that like horizontal pan and slowly reveal, you know what I mean? Or like you walk towards the doors and it's like animated so they open up. But yeah, it's cool. Like honestly, the vines, the banners, the flickering torches, some of these paintings, the boxes, and I'm so glad I used trim sheets because they all have like that uniform look to them. Like, you know, like this dark wooden band, I don't know what you call it, is the exact same material on this one. It should be. Yeah, it's right there too, on that barrel. Yeah, you know, it's kind of cozy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's like, okay, you know, I come down into the dungeon, you know, it's kind of lit up. Kind of like inviting, you know, you come down here, maybe close the doors so the heat doesn't escape or something. I don't know, the dungeon's probably cold, I imagine. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to cough. I'm really liking this. I feel like I should be building more, but there's something about it that's like, damn, I wish this was a real place. Come pull up a chair. That'd probably be a very uncomfortable chair, to be honest, but pull up a chair, you know, read some books, you know, like play around with some gems, slot them into your staff, whatever, you know, have some of that potion. But what's in that chest, you're probably wondering, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you gotta find the key. You're like reading and reading and reading it, and you're like, Oh shit, the key's like right here. But but yeah, no, I might sound like a little kind of rambly, but I'm honestly just really excited to finally play with this dungeon and not just sorry, with this dungeon pack, and not just tweak and model and so many other things. There's so many tedious things that went into this pack, but I'm glad how it's turned out. Yeah, I'm really happy. Anyway, let's continue the build. I feel like kind of just walking around aimlessly. So okay, let's think here. What can we do? I want to build like another area, but I don't know what I'm gonna build. And honestly speaking, I feel like I might be getting sick, so it's kind of hard for me to keep rambling and chatting about nonsense as I build. So, but the sooner I get this, this footage, the sooner I'm done with this thing. So maybe I can just push through. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I thought this would be the easy part. Like obviously everything else was very difficult and tedious, but to be honest with you, I kind of feel like this is actually the hard part. Is coming up with a design, a layout. Oh, I got an idea. Let's put a door here, so I will go to wall doors. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna explain, I'm just gonna match it to, kind of see how it all fits together cohesively like that. And then I'll pop in a little door there. Excuse me. I think talking might be making my throat worse. But it's all good. I'll just continue. Put a metal door there, just something different. And then maybe throw up like some fences or something. Okay, let's use this stone. Let me go to stone. This one. Let's rotate that out. Yeah, like that. I think that's cool. I like that a lot. So yeah, I mean, kind of like I was, I guess, rambling about before. Okay, that worked. Like I was rambling a little bit about before, that these things are designed accordingly so that you can just snap them into place, duplicate them out. Kind of like Lego pieces. We'll just go with stairs again. We'll try doing material is that. We'll do stone stairs, why not? Try something different. Throw in a landing. Or no, I could just probably do the yeah, so okay, we kind of hard to say. It's like we start in our library in the we start on the first floor, right? Travel up to the second floor, which is another hallway. Then we go back down to the first floor. Why does it work that way? I don't know. Oh, I got a better idea. I just had an idea. So how many? 1, 2, 3. Check this out. Turn that back on so we can see. Oh, and that doesn't fit. Okay, so. Oh wait, no. I designed for this. I designed for this. How do I fill that gap? Go back to stone. What is this called? Fence eye stone. Fence eye end stone. Just like that. Fixed it. So now, because I had an idea, I'm like, what if it's like a dual entrance kind of thing? And now that I think about it a bit more, what if it was a shorter entrance? Something like... I'm gonna use these as a guideline. No, I want to keep it shorter than that. Yeah, okay, so it's one length. Okay, it's like that. Oh, I guess yeah. That's cool. I like that. That looks good to me. So now I'll fill out this bottom area with something. Okay, so what am I gonna fill it with? Go back to floors. Let's do the checkered floor. I kind of like. I've been wanting to use this. I just want to see if I rotate it, does it break up? No, it's the same. So again, I'm just gonna hop into first person just to get an idea of the scale of things. Okay, right. So probably wondering if why isn't this door open? You pop it over from this asset browser. Control A, make instances real, just like that works. Anyway, I'm gonna start back at the in the library. Okay, I'll turn the ceiling back on. Maybe I'll turn the fog on. I feel like the fog kind of like overdone. So I'm just gonna turn it off. All right, check this out. Let me save before I get carried away here. Hit play. We have the pixel filter. Leaving this library. This haunted, decrepit library, I guess. And can I just say, I don't think that's a good placement for the banner and torch. I feel like that would go up in flames, like, pretty quickly. But again, you know, this isn't real. It's just a dream, you know, wake up. No. Okay. So this is our study area. Now it's completely pitch black. Oh, let me turn off the... And here, I know I keep swapping back and forth, but I need a flashlight. Let me go increase the radius too. And we fell to our doom. Okay. Maybe I'll just walk around like this, just to get an idea. I feel like this is, not a bad space. I definitely can fill out something in this bottom area. Thinking white. So, let me throw down some walls. I feel like that might help me separate things out a bit. I kind of don't want to use this wall, because I'll explain why. It has this weird glitch to it. not a glitch, but it's just the way it was designed isn't the best. But yeah. I'll be honest, you know, it's not my, it is my best work. I get, you know, put a lot of time into it, but still, you know, certain things can bug me like that, and I try my best not to let it get to me. I'm just trying to think if this is more of like a checkered kind of pattern floor, what would go with that? What would go with a checkered? You know, I want something decorative, so I'll try these walls. Okay, so let me think this through. Let me just throw down walls and just see what I can come up with here. I'm trying to make like separate rooms within this room, if that makes sense. So yeah, you know, like maybe this is like a long hallway. You come through here. You have like this area to do something in. Yeah, this is honestly the hard part of this pack. Maybe something like that. And I'll get rid of these walls for now. I don't. Maybe instead of walls, back to fences or something. I don't know. It's kind of hard to think of like a layout for this. I'm not like a level designer, so. Because I see this as like an interior, you know what I mean? Like this is like inside your dungeon. Yeah, whatever, we'll just throw shit down and see what happens. I'm just gonna duplicate this up just so it looks better. I don't know. It kind of interferes with my spacing on this, so what to do? Well, what if I just open it? I mean, fuck. Let's open it. I'm gonna have to okay, I see a pattern here. Maybe I don't see the pattern. Oh, I see. Okay. So I gotta shift things around. Oh, I just got an idea. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, very interesting. These things are kind of lined up on. Yeah, you can tell I pretty much just stopped caring about organizing everything. That's 1, 2, 3 from the stairs. That's 1, 2. So yeah, like I was doing, I have like an underground entrance from here. Maybe not underground, but like. Oh, I have an idea actually. Let's do. Now, where would the door? Yeah. Okay, let's make this the doorway. And then through here. I'm starting to feel like maybe we don't need this. There's walls here. You get what I mean? Like you come in, do something. Because I like the idea of having like dual staircases. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't need dual staircases. Maybe I need something like this. Just one staircase might work. Oh, I could eat. Okay, let's redo that. I didn't need to duplicate that, but okay. Single staircase going up on either side. I like it. Just look at other fences here. Maybe I can use something. Yeah, I think I'm getting sick, to be honest. I can definitely feel the, whatever the hell is going on in my throat. I can feel it now. Kind of like this small fence better, actually. Feels more appropriate. And again, I'll just throw an end piece onto there. And yeah, if you're wondering, I did not make a fence variant for like the diagonal stairs. It was too much work. So actually, with that being said, I probably just close that now. So now the question is, what goes on in this big room here? So let's start dividing it up. I went into wireframe mode just because it kind of helps break up the visual noise of the of the room. Oh, I like that. I like the idea of like a grand entrance into a room. That looks cool. I'll just save this quick. Yeah, now I just gotta figure out what I want to do with the rest of it. Maybe I made this room too big. But that's okay, I'll figure something out. This is like a weird fucking layout I came up with. I mean, I know it's dungeon themed, like that's the intention, but I'm starting to get like a castle kind of vibe to it or something. Like a weird Zelda puzzle. Ah, fuck it. Again, let's just walk through it and see what we got here. Okay, that's kind of a short corridor. Maybe I'll extend that out a bit. I feel like it's a little bit too short. Maybe pop it out a bit more. And I'm gonna turn off that pixel filter now. I want to see. I want to believe. I feel like that's a good distance. That's good enough. You know, you come in through, just pretend there's a door here. Coming through a door, kind of see on both sides you can come up onto this. Yeah, again, I'm not really too experienced in this field, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a story for this, you know, like I don't have a purpose, like a reason for why this is the way it is, you know, like in a Zelda game it's like, well, this leads you to getting like a dungeon item, or you know, like get like an upgrade or some crap like that. But for me it's like, I don't know, it's just I just made it that way. Okay, I'm getting an idea here. So add another doorway that comes into here. So you get this room. This is your hallway. Come in. Maybe in this corner there's something here for you. Or, hear me out, another doorway. When in doubt, add doorways. I think that's the lesson I'm learning here. Okay, I don't wanna scope creep this and make it too big, right? I wanna kind of fill out these areas as I do this. Maybe I'll close that. So the way I see it, this is your main entrance. Okay, you come on this side. Now I'm thinking, do we really need these stairs here? Hold on, I'm like thinking of something right now. Maybe I do need the dual stairs. And again, I planned for a scenario like this. You just take a mid piece and it connects. Okay, I'm starting to get a better feel now on this. The stairs come from one area, because I want this to be opened up to something. So that's main entrance. Ooh. Like I said before, in doubt, there's another door. Maybe not. I'll just leave it like that. So hear me out, okay. That's our library. Come through our little stone corridor or stonador. Come out through here, come down the stairs. And this is, okay, I got an idea. Can I use a gate? Maybe not. I mean, it looks kind of cheesy, but you know, the idea being, no, I'll probably do something else. Yeah, I kind of like a fenced off area or a gated off area. Oh right, I guess this was meant to be used with pillars. You're supposed to have like pillars off to the sides of them. Which I guess makes sense, because I haven't even been using pillars much, so I should probably do that. Still, I don't know. I gotta try to convert. Oh shit, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, metal one. Oh, what's it doing? Something different. Gotcha. Okay, here we go. So maybe I am making like a dungeon, like a level. So like, hear me out, like, jump up there. So we're in here. We're in here. Very nicely designed. Come through this corridor, go up the stairs. And let's just assume you can't jump. I don't know why, maybe you can. You can't go through the, okay, so you come down this one set of stairs. Look around, it's like, well, here's a gate. You can't come through here yet. Feel me? Gated off and that. So your only choice is to go through this corridor. And anyway, I'm not trying to build a game out here. I'm just trying to world build and think of how this works. Maybe. No, it doesn't make sense to be over there. That makes a little bit more sense to me. And honestly, I feel like this is a little bit too claustrophobic for a corridor. Or maybe bigger. Again, maybe whoever's watching this is more of a dungeon building person. This is looking brilliant. Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize. Kind of just zoned in on this. Yeah, if you're wondering what this is, not that you asked, but not to sound rude, but it's a I worked on just testing out my modular dungeon pack. I think it's in the title I put it. But yeah, I made like a bunch of 3D models, game ready assets, and I'm just kind of testing it out to just get a feel for, well, okay, let me be real with you. I'm just doing it so I'm recording footage so I can make my advertisement video. But yeah, to walk through it a little bit, I guess. Go through it a bit. So let me kill this light real quick. Pop that back down to 25. So yeah, like I was saying, this is all these lights, like these flickering lights, are exclusive to the Blender file because I couldn't find a way to animate it out to like OBJ and all that. Anyway, so this is basically just my testing out my assets in a an actual layout kind of setting. So the first one I did the other day was like a library or something. I was kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, well, what goes in a library? Books, potions, candles, staffs. And just recently I touched up some of these textures, so I made kind of like hanging vines, or like, I don't know, moss or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so I was just kind of like thinking out loud to myself. I'm like, okay, this is the dungeon. I made it out at the library. It's like a nice, cozy little place to nice cozy place to relax, unwind, study up on some stuff. You'll have to excuse me, I think I'm getting sick, so my throat's kind of messed up. We'll walk through, okay, there's a corridor down here, leads to I guess a secret library or something like that. And then nothing out here is lit up. I was just kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, if I were designing like a puzzle dungeon or some crap like that, what would the logic be? I'm just kind of screwing around, to be honest. Like, there's nothing. This is not a game. There's nothing like concrete to this. Excuse me. It's just a demo layout. So eventually, when this pack is released and people buy the source pack version with this blend file, then they can kind of look around and just get an idea of like what a layout would look like. You know what I mean? But yeah, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I am learning this as I go, so bear with me if I'm like not adhering to like architectural standards or something. Yeah, kind of like how I'm showing these off. Like they're meant, like these assets are meant to be duplicated and snapped to a grid pretty quickly. Because it's a modular kit, right? You know what I mean? Like it's designed that way. You know, the goal behind it is like assuming like you're like a not proper, but like assuming you're like a game dev or like a hobbyist. You know, you love level design and you want to design dungeons for some reason. Then yeah, hopefully this pack, whoever ends up with it, can kind of speed up their workflow to design a dungeon. Me personally, I'm not a dungeon guy. Like I am not a level designer. I struggle a lot to do this kind of stuff, but it's fun, so I continue to do it. Stupid annotation. So because this is such a large area that I need to light up, and I don't want to just keep using candles and those candle stands, I had an idea. Why don't I use those chandeliers I made? So, let's look at this from a bird's eye view. So, put one here. Oh, let me turn off that pixel filter. I don't need that yet. Oh, this is the tricky thing too, because like I want to include a ceiling, but if I put the chandelier down, then it's way too. I just walk down. It's like way too low to the ceiling, so maybe the ceiling needs to be raised. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. I'm just testing this. No, that'd be yeah, it's... I'm just trying to think of like the logic behind this. Like if that's the ceiling height, then would that make sense in terms of... Oh crap. So like maybe this room needs to be a bit taller. I don't know, 4 walls, 4 stories tall or something. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I'm just kind of playing around here. Let's go to the stone. And then we'll do a wooden one. And so we need to light up this area. So oh yeah, okay, I want to try out these wooden posts. The flame ones. I don't care if it clips into the fence. I mean, it works for me. Okay, now I just need to light up this wall. How am I gonna do that? These torches. I'll just torch them up. There's a lot of lights going on though, to be honest. Like, it might be bogging down my computer. Looks like your assets work. And I like the textures. You made all of the models. Yeah, they look good. Yes, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I made all of these. Took me about a year of my life to figure this out, but yeah. And they each have like variants, so like metal, stone, wood. No, yeah, so it just took me a while to figure all this out. And yeah, in terms of that that room, maybe four walls tall makes sense for the chandeliers. And they can put like a ceiling tile. I just want to test, like I'm just kind of getting an idea, right? So it kind of looks like they're hanging from the ceiling. Yeah, hopefully this, I'm gonna save before this, because I don't want this to like kill my computer. So let's walk through this again. Oh, okay, yeah, it's not animated. I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, okay, let's just start back here in the and we'll put on the pixel filter. Okay, I thought my music was playing for a second. I had music playing in the Blender file, so I thought that was playing for a sec. Okay. Looking around, we're in our pixel filter, so you know it's like those PS1 kind of games. We're in the library. It's got vines growing. It's got like debris on the floor, so I don't know. Maybe you could say no one's been here for a while. So as we continue out, and yeah, I intend to do a different ceiling for the outer area. I was just kind of experimenting around. Come out into this big corridor. It was like underground stone corridor, cobblestone. Yeah, it's not lit up exactly how I'd want it to be, but whatever, it's good enough. And yeah, the idea was that, like, you know, you come down these stairs, this would be like one of the rooms. Yeah, I think that four walls up high makes sense, because that chandelier is a nice distance up there, right? If it's too low, it looks kind of weird. And you'll have to forgive the glitchiness in some of these lights and stuff. It's kind of like tripping out. Oh shit, I forgot to turn off my... Okay. That might speed things up a bit, yeah. Just gonna check one thing really quick. Oh, that works. That sort of... Oh, I know what's going on. So maybe... So yeah, I have like these dangling light sources above the chandeliers. I need to just bring them down a little bit. I know it's kind of like messy and noisy, but that's how it's going on. Take it off a little bit. Yeah, that works for me. That works for me. That doesn't look too bad. As long as it can fully light up the area and, you know, cast the shadows, I'm good with that. looking at this, I might be able to get away with 33 floors up. I don't know. Let's just try it. Yeah, I was kind of afraid of making too big of a room. Oh, I just realized something. Doesn't matter if it clips through the ceiling. You're not gonna see that. Okay, works for me. So what is that height? 3 floors up. That's not bad. So I'll just continue doing that. Again, I probably don't want to make too big of a room, because then it takes longer to design and kind of fill it out, but I want something presentable, you know what I mean? Like something that can show off the capabilities of this pack. And use a different ceiling tile. No, I'll just go with this one. So I guess that's the plan. Everything will be that tall. Seems good to me. Seems reasonable enough. Stuff just never ends. Okay, I think I got everything here. And we'll add a doorway here as well. Kind of tight on space, but I can make it work. And then what? Who's stone doors or something different? Now this area I was saying is kind of dingy, so can I do to improve the lighting here? I don't want to just keep adding ceiling. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it. I could double down on the lights, maybe. And last but not least, this is the real, so I can swing those doors open. Okay, hopefully this door, I'm gonna save. Save this. Take it from the top. I'm trapped in this room. No. I'm just gonna quickly add the doors. Metal doors. I'll do that. Add a metal door here. And then I'll add metal gate as well. Okay, so everything's got pillars, everything's looks good to me. I feel like something. Hold on. I feel like it'd make more sense to kind of lead the I don't know, the viewer. I'll just call him the viewer. I don't want to call it the player. It makes it sound like I'm making a game. Something that catches the viewer's eye. I should have organized this. That's why I put things into whatever, it's fine. I put things into collection so I can like toggle the layers on and off, right? But it's okay, I can make it work. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't make it work. So I had an idea. Actually, full speed. Yeah, so because I don't want everything to just be tall, you know what I mean? Or maybe it does. Oh, music is louder than my voice. To be honest, I'm talking kind of quietly, and yeah, the music is kind of a bit unbalanced. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, no wonder the mic is so far away from me. I'll just turn down the audio a little bit. Yeah, so maybe that's better. Yeah, probably something like that's better. Oh, thank you for the input. I have like my headphones down low anyway, so like it doesn't really bother me, but of course, I'm not the one watching the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna do something like this. I don't know why, I just like this design, it just looks cool to me. I'll turn it up on the headphones then so I get an idea. And of course, what do we do when we're faced with a difficulty? We add a gate. And make instances real so I can swing these doors open. Now why would a gate like this probably wouldn't be inside. No, it'd probably be outside. I'll just do another wall door. This is like my one trick that I love to do, these wall doors. Yeah, it does not help. Whatever, I'll just make it all tall as well. Take a chunk of the ceiling out so I can see it. Yeah, works for me. Alright, let's just throw a door in there. Just pick a random one. Well, it has to be one of these. Let's go with stone. There's no music now? Oh shit. Okay, let me turn it up. Maybe that's better. Like, the mic is kind of facing away from me, to be honest. So. Maybe too high in the walkway. Like, this is too high. I don't know. I mean, like, it... Yeah, I mean... Not really meant to, Not really meant to be anything special. It's just basically a demo. Just like a demo, like a demonstration kind of thing. But I hear you. I hear you. Maybe it is too high. But we'll see. Let's go through it again. This is atrocious. This is it's so dark. Okay. I am gonna do one thing really quick. If I can. I'll turn that off too. Yeah. Move that to the second floor, move that to the third floor. So this might help me a bit better. And yeah, I'll have to put this into ceiling. How fun. I'm sure there's a way to... These are all floor... Okay, yeah, okay. Put those in the ceiling. And then, so... These can go into lighting. Kind of helps to organize things because it's very chaotic to try and tweak things. Yeah, there's a few other things that need to go into lighting. I think that covers about all of it, so... Oh, it does that. Okay. So, if I turn off the first floor... I don't care if it turns off those pillars, I mean, that's beyond my... I mean, I do care, but it's not really relevant right now. Okay, it is relevant, so I'm gonna immediately see how, like, backpedal on my decision. Okay, so first, third. I have a. I'm gonna rearrange this. So ceiling, third, second. Yeah, so it should be like this. I guess that counts as a ceiling. Okay, whatever. I'll put that into. Yeah. The whole third floor is gone, okay. So yeah, I like it better this way because of, oh, what the hell? I guess this goes into first floor. Yeah, I like keeping things organized because it just helps me visualize things better. So like if I want to get rid of the ceiling and look in, then... Anyway, so like I was saying, I gotta do the lighting for this hallway, so I'm gonna try using those candle stands again. I'll turn off the pixel filter. That's good enough. Okay. Oh, I will do one thing. Okay. I can just snap so I know it's on that same floor. Now I need something here. Maybe some torches, maybe? Oh, before I forget, let me just throw those into lighting. And what do I got here? It's not as accurate, like until I actually go down close to the sources, then it becomes a bit more accurate, but yeah, it's like pitch black here. I don't know how to feel about these lanterns. Like they're decent, but I feel like now I need a ceiling to kind of bounce the light around, but I'll worry about that after. I'm just gonna do these torches here somewhere. Get a look at this. Okay. So the cool thing about these assets is that they're all origin points have been like set manually by me, but they should all snap to like the middle of the wall or the, you see what I mean? Like that's one wall's length, so it could snap to the middle, to the left, to the right. It's kind of easy to maybe not easy. You can see I'm like struggling, but it helps to do things symmetrically if you're going for like symmetry in your kind of game. And because, you know, I'm addicted to this damn project, I ended up making where is it? Stone, metal, and wood variants, but they have different, slightly different offsets for when they blink, slightly different color temperatures, so it kind of, to me, I just did it because I'm like, oh, it just adds more to the uniqueness, I guess. Or, you know, I'm crazy. I mean, you take your pick. You tell me, someone who spends this much damn time, like, on tweaking a fake dungeon layout. Now I just gotta do this wall, so let's go with, let me get an idea of how it looks. Could probably make do with lanterns at the top, I guess. Even though they don't really shine light downward. Let me give it a shot. Well, because it's me, I want to use different ones for every instance. Tripping, or is that, no, that is centered, okay. And then we'll go with wood, flame. And then I'll just duplicate them over. So I mean, like looking at it like that, I guess, kind of looks decent, I guess, like depending on like the angle you look at the lighting. But honestly, the more I think about this project, I think it's just I wanted to play with like lighting. No, it's just fun. Like, it's kind of fun to play with, I'm not gonna lie, but it can be kind of, a little bit tedious to work with too. Oh shit. Okay, I just got a better idea. So let me fill you in on a little secret here. This candle stand. Alright, check this out. Because it has that light shining down, right? That wobbly light that it's like a spotlight. You know what I mean? So the higher up this candle stand is, the more that light reaches, and the lower it is, obviously, the less. So I ended up putting it on a shelf. Kind of weird spot, but it justifies it instead of just having it floating. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. Like the exact same thing, because that to me is gonna help fill out the rest of these. And these might be overkill, like I don't know. I feel like these lanterns up here might be kind of overkill. But then again, it kind of looks cool, so maybe I'll go with rule of cool. You know, it doesn't have to be accurate lighting or something. So let me think now. Where am I gonna put these? Bring out some shelves. We'll do metal shelves. I did wooden last time. Do them high up like that. Let me turn off those extras because that's annoying. Kind of a dark spot here, but I mean, I don't know, maybe it should be on the other side of the wall. This might not be a bad spot, in between the pillar. Hey, I kind of like it. Kind of odd, but you know, we're not going for realism here. We're just going for what looks cool. Yes! Yo, you get it, bro. You get it. You see how... You see? Before I was trying to think of how to make it as real as possible. And I'm like, wait, it's a fucking... It's not real. Like, it doesn't have to... I don't have to abide by, like, realistic standards. You feel me? Okay, so let's go with... Let's copy that over. And then I'll bring up this one. Kind of why I made the dungeon symmetrical, so everything kind of lines up proper. Okay, I just gotta do a shelf for this side now. Oh, and I just thought of something I can add to add to these ceilings. I'm gonna add banners. Maybe I should throw that in more in the center. Oh wait, I got an idea. Yeah, I'll do it this way. And I gotta zoom in, I gotta walk down there to see if there's a dark spot here. I mean, there kinda is, but again, that kinda looks fucking cool. I kinda like it. It's kinda like, what the hell is down here? But maybe I'll put, you know, like tables and put little candles or something on them. But okay, this back wall needs to be lit, so... Maybe I can just keep getting away with this technique. Again, you know, maybe this doesn't actually apply. Like maybe this isn't a real. Like maybe no dungeon ever puts candles up that high on on like stands like that, but on shelves, but my dungeon does, so it's good for me. Let's go with metal. Hell yeah, I'm liking that a lot now. I'll do another one. Trying to pay attention to symmetry, so that's center one. So that's center one. It goes in between the pillar. Kind of rough, but you know, I kind of feel like the lighting works for this. Now this area I feel like needs a ceiling for sure. Oh, actually I want to test one thing. I want to see how it looks with the... Oh, I knew it. Oh, I had a feeling this was gonna happen. I gotta lower these candles then. 'Cause the moment I put that ceiling on, right, it interferes with their thing. Well, that's not too bad. I'll move them down 2 spaces. Okay, so I'll turn off the ceiling again. Full screen it so it's easier to see. So I moved it down, yeah, like 2 spaces. I guess it's not a bad thing to have such a high ceiling, like a four wall high ceiling. Okay, I think that should cover it. Throw the ceiling back on. And I just saw something I think might... Let me just check, just to be sure. Oh shit, okay. Okay, so these chandeliers need to be adjusted then. Yeah, you see how they're... I can show you again on the... Again, those spotlights are too high up, so I'll just lower them. I was wondering why the chandeliers look a little dim. Ah, but again, it's... yeah, okay. Well, it's a good... okay, you know what, I'm just gonna face it, it's fine. The candles themselves have light sources too. These light sources, so these are actually lighting up the area. I intended to have the spotlight do it, but nah, win some you lose some, right? What the hell is this? Oh, that's my camera, okay. Let's see all this mess of like lights, man. So before, like I said, before I get carried away, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm just gonna save this. So I just want to see how the lighting looks, and then I'm gonna start throwing up some banners and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been about 2 hours on stream, so I might call it quits pretty soon here. Probably not walk so fast. And for the fun of it, let's throw that pixel filter back on. The more I think about it, I'm like, Oh wait, I did. Okay, yeah, I did that intentionally. I don't want to tweak things too much. I know me. I'm gonna like endlessly just tweak and tweak and tweak out. As for why the light kind of blends through that, I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I think I'll put a ceiling on this before I get too carried away. Just because I keep saying I'm gonna do it. Floor. What would be a good ceiling type? Let's go. Let me just check something real quick. Okay. Do the other one. Okay, good. It doesn't interfere with anything. And can I put walls. Ah, whatever. I'll just leave it like that. It's an open concept. Okay, now let's take a look at this. How does this look? Am I zoomed out? Yes, yes I am. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. You know, like the wooden posts look like they're supporting the ceiling. Oh, let me turn off the... It's kind of like you're looking out the window. Kind of like a bridge, almost. I like it. You know, I really like it. I'm satisfied with it. Oh yeah. So these candles had to be lowered, which not a big deal in my opinion. Maybe I'll turn off this pixel filter. I think it might be eating up resources. Oh, I forgot to make instance real on this. Probably I didn't do it to this one. No, I didn't. Something ominous about this hallway. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't trust walking down there. I hate to say it. I mean, I can critique my own work, but these tiles kind of make it feel like it's a bathroom. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like I'm walking in a bathroom. Okay, let's do a little bit more, I don't know what you call it, world building, level designing. Cut the ceiling out, we'll get rid of the third floor, and we'll even get rid of the second floor. Turn off the lights. Oh, there's still more things that need to be added to lighting. Okay. Those are part of what? The second floor. I'll make that part of the ceiling. Alright, looks good. So, let's turn stuff back on, even though I just deleted it. Oh, not deleted, but turned it off. Okay, so I wanted to start adding like banners and decorations, stuff like that. Not more torches. Yeah, okay, damn. I never get away from this. These lights go into lighting. Is there any other lights? I swear, if I miss something. Okay. Okay, so let's start adding like barrels and banners and stuff like that. So, oh man, I hate to admit it, but that's kind of bugging me now. I feel like this should be nothing bad. Yeah, you gotta go to night. You gotta go. Nice work, though, mate. Hey, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you very much. It means a lot to have people show interest in my work. You know, have a good one. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in and chilling out. You know, for a little bit, and you know, good feedback too. You know, your feedback kind of helped me make something even better. Okay, that makes more sense. That's dope. Okay, so I'm just gonna start adding banners and stuff like that just to the ceilings. Oops. Oh, I have to rotate that. I think. Okay. Now to just copy paste. Maybe I'm going overkill, like overboard on the banners, but whatever. Adds more I don't know, team spirit or something. Okay. I'm gonna just throw all those banners onto the third floor. Works for me. Okay, now to fill these rooms out with something, so... I'm just trying to change up these floors so they're not so uniform. Ah, that kind of looks dumb. I don't know why there's a fountain in the middle of this room, but you never know. There might be something special about it. Yeah, you know what? Forget the fountain. Let's make it a... It's where a bunch of coffins are. It's spooky in here. Wow, there's so many choices in this fucking pack. Like, even I'm starting to get like overwhelmed with what I want to add, what I want to do. But you know, it's just kind of the how this works, right? Kind of just build it as you see fit. And my advice to anyone, you know, not that you need advice from like how to do this, how to use it, but I would just take things slow and just slow and steady, you know what I mean? Just take your time with it. Don't kind of do what I'm doing and try to like rush things. Not like rush, but I'll be real with you. I'm trying to get this thing done. Like trying to get footage and actually build something as quick as I can. Just because I kind of just want to be done with this at this point. It was a good run, don't get me wrong. Like, I had tons of fun working on this, but at a certain point, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta fucking get up out of here, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta take a break, too. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, just my advice, my honest advice with this kind of stuff is just pace yourself, right? You're not gonna be able to build something in like a day or like a couple hours, right? Maybe you can, you know, like I don't know your history. Maybe you're like a really good like game designer or something like that, but I'm not. I'm not a game designer. I'm not like into that. So it's taking me some time to do this, and I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of just throwing shit together, and just kind of like that's kind of the fun of this pack. You know what I mean? Like, oops. And I kind of feel like I didn't do that enough when I was, well, I mean, I was obviously working on this thing, but to actually play with it, you know, like to have fun with it and, you know, see how it all fits and works together. I feel like that's an important part of working on something like this, is to, I guess you could say it's kind of like doodling, you know, like, you know, you take out a piece of paper and you start like scribbling stuff. Kind of feels like that. Like, I'm not really... Before I was trying to come up with like a lore or like a story to what this is, but now I'm like, probably not that important. And the cool thing is like, you can kind of reuse things as like, you know what I mean? Like, these are all rail pieces, but I'm kind of just stacking them to make like a monument totem thing. So it's kind of cool. Like, all these assets can be repurposed depending on how you see fit. You feel me? So I don't know. I guess this is kind of like a graveyard crypt area. you know, the fun part is like you start thinking, it's like, oh, okay, what were they containing in this, or what are they keeping out? You know what I mean? Oh, I like that a lot. That's dope. I just need something in the middle here to complete this, but what? Ah, looks good enough to me. So, yeah, I say that as I continue building. I can kind of see why people get into like level design and stuff. Like, it is kind of fun actually. Come up with your own like story of like what's happening in this, and how you throw in some pillars too. My problem with my pack is like like if I have a pillar, it has to go to a wall. You feel me? But sometimes it's like, well, maybe they don't always have to go to walls, you know? Maybe they can just be used as decorations too. Which, honestly, I think is kind of cool. I'm trying to figure out where to snap these because they're on a grid. But you know, like this, just adding like random details. Oh, I think the lights were already over there. Yeah. Oh man, what a weak flame. Okay, it's not too bad. Hey, there we go. So again, I'm gonna probably end the stream here soon. It's been like 2 hours, and I feel like I might be getting sick. So we'll see if I continue a stream next time, or maybe I'll Maybe I don't want to work on this offline because the whole point of me doing this is to get footage. Right, and that's why I'm doing the streams. But that being said, I don't know. Maybe I'll take a break. I know I said there wasn't any timeline, but I am kind of trying to push myself to get this done. I just need to delete that. I am kind of pushing myself a bit to get this done as quick as I can because I want to be done with it, right? I want to release the pack and then take it easy, take a break, but that's besides the point. I mean, all things considered, like, this pack has been proving to be really, really interesting to work with here. Trying to fight, like, my own OCD of, like, oh, that lighting should be adjusted, that should be moved, that should be fixed. And you can really see, like, just in a small room, you can get a little bit, like, a lot of detail out of it, you feel me? You know, like debris on the ground, a carpet leading you to a treasure chest. I'd put on the pixel camera because it looks cool. Banners up at the top, you know, there's torches, vines creeping, there's like a crack in the wall. I feel like if I work on a huge room, like I was during this stream, then it becomes a little bit too difficult to figure out, you know, what to place, how to place, to fill out the room lighting and all that. But it's fun. It's fun stuff. Like, I'm not... But now it's like, okay, I gotta figure out to place tables and chairs and barrels and crates and come up with ideas for what these rooms are what the purpose of these rooms are. Like, this one is cool. I really like that. That's fucking creepy, but that's besides the point. I'm not trying to make something... Well, I guess it is kind of creepy because it is a dungeon, like a castle. But you saw, like, just randomly placing stuff down. Like, yeah, I like this. This feels like a good room to be in. I'll just adjust that so it's centered. There's music though. Yeah, whatever. Looks good enough. And I'm not done lighting this room yet, but it's getting there. Definitely getting there. And I tried to change up the, you know, the floors and stuff to make them look a little bit more unique. I'm just tweaking the center of these chandeliers so they're like centered in the room. Yeah, the light's kind of bugging out because there's a lot of light sources in this scene, and yeah. I don't know. I think my personal favorite right now is like just this one scene. It just looks so cool. Anyway, I'm gonna look at that graveyard room I made. I just want to see how it looks. Did I? No, I didn't. It's this. Let's take a look. Very kind of crammed in here, to be honest. It's like a very cramped kind of room, but it's also very definitely very creepy. I feel like the music reflects that too. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end this stream here. I'm kind of tired and my throat's been kind of bugging me this stream. Oh, don't tell me. Yeah, I knew it. It's bugging out because it's kind of clipping. That's fine. I'll worry about it next stream. Like, I'm not too concerned about it right now. But yeah, it's coming along nicely, I would say. It's a very interesting kind of setup here. It's definitely got an atmosphere to it. I don't know what kind of atmosphere. But like I was saying earlier, like these tiles make it look like a bathroom to me, so I might have to change some of that out. Like I'm not making a bathroom, I'm making a dungeon, right? But this bridge kind of portion I really like. Like, yeah, and better lighting, you can really see it, right? But I think it looks cool, and I just fell off. Yeah, I really like the look of this, especially when you come into like this bottom corridor. But yeah, of all the rooms, I don't know, I think I really like this first one I did. It feels the most decorated and fleshed out, and like that's kind of what I was hoping to do. I didn't mean to build such a big room out there, because the bigger the room, the longer it takes to populate and to think about how you're gonna decorate and world build, I guess. But that's okay. I mean, I'm trying to do a mix of things here, right? I'm just trying to showcase how these assets can work together, right? Maybe you have a better idea of doing it. Maybe you have like an architectural background, or you're like a game designer or something. Maybe you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I hear you, I hear you on that, but I'm just trying to create a demo layout, just something that you could crack open and just walk around and get an idea of like, oh, okay, so this is the kind of stuff I can make. But yeah, that being said, I'm probably gonna end the stream here. I'll just throw on the streaming bumper for a bit, and then call it quits. But it was a good session, considering we just started in this room. I didn't even get to play with these new vines I made. I was hoping to do that, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what I'm gonna do for next stream. Part of me's like, just don't build such a huge ass room again, because I feel like smaller rooms are where it's at. But you never know. I might just keep decorating and continuing this whole thing. But yeah. And as you can see, I guess if you want to see the geometry of it, it's all fake. All these shiny, bumpy, like popping out kind of textures, like it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all just flat cubes. So tried my best to optimize this project, so but yeah, I got nothing else to say really. I'm just gonna kind of well, okay, I'll say one thing. I'm kind of bugs me that this ceiling isn't lit up better. I mean, it looks okay, it looks cool, but part of me is like, there's something missing, and I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll figure it out next time, but yeah, this pack has a lot of assets in it. Yeah, I'll admit some of them are kind of repeated, because they come in like metal, stone, and wood variants, but there is quite a bit you can do with with just a handful of these, right? At least I think so. I don't know, maybe you think differently, but yeah, it's kind of cheesy that it's just all copy pasted. It's like the same exact thing, but whatever. I'm trying to make variety in these assets, so it's all good. And you can make your own prefabs. Put together your own little crates of whatever materials, gems, I'm sure I'm sure you could build something incredible, right? I'm sure you have like a better idea of how to work with this kind of stuff. But yeah, you can see like that's the some of the textures, the decals I was doing. Decals, decals. I just wanted to test one thing actually, now that I'm here. May as well. Bring that out. Oops. I want to see if it can be used as grass. No, it's very thin, very transparent. Yeah, so it's probably best to just leave it on the walls. You know, it looks like stuff's coming down, or like, you know, the walls are cracked, vines are growing. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it here. I gotta go. Not a bad modeling session, but or not modeling, but not a bad stream. Again, I don't think I want to make rooms that big. I actually really did enjoy making a very small room. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm just gonna go. Oh shit, Void Money. Yeah, bro. I can give you a little tour if you want to see it. I don't know how much you've been watching, but yeah, it's these dungeon pack assets I've been working on have really been coming through now. I really like I'm just capturing footage at this point. That's what I'm streaming. I'm not trying to model or tweak anything. Oh, I forgot to animate it. Yeah, I made like a little, I don't know, library, like a dungeon library. You got your books. Oh, I'll turn off the pixel filter for a bit. Yeah, you got like your books, you know, staffs and shit like that. You got weapons by the door. Added like these decals, like vines, banners. Made like a stone corridor. I don't know what the gives me Hexen or Shadowgate vibes, but modernized. Hey man, I appreciate. I have no idea what those are. I'm not gonna lie, but I appreciate it. You know, that means a lot. And yeah, I'm going back and forth on like the pixel filter or not, because it adds a certain graininess to the scene. I'll just leave it on. Fuck it. Yeah, so I just, you know, built a little corridor, go up these steps. I have like these lanterns, I guess, that make like a little bridgeway. Oh damn, really? Well, they haven't aged well, so don't worry about it. I'll look it up. I'll look into them. What are they called? The Hexen and Shadowgate. Like, honestly, man, like ever since taking on this project, I've been getting more into like dungeon crawling, like stuff. So it's all good. Yeah, it's kind of a fucked up thing. Like I can kind of zoom out and just show you. It's probably better to do that. Remove the ceilings here. Yeah, I don't know. I was just playing around and I made like a weird graveyard crypt thing. Shadowgate is an old school adventure game. There was an N64. It sounds familiar. Probably never, like, I'll admit, I most likely didn't play it, but that does sound familiar. But yeah, no, I was just walking around and just looking at how all the lighting is affecting these the models and stuff like that. Hexen is kind of like an occult dark magic FP. Oh shit, that sounds cool. They're both slogs though, hey? Oh shit, okay. Yeah, it's one of those, I guess, old kind of games where, I mean, they had heart, you know, they had grit in those days, but I guess the polish may have not been there, but I don't know, I'll definitely look them up for sure. But yeah, dude, like I don't know. It's not much else I can really say about these models. I'm like, I kind of feel like I made a room like this room way too big. So I was like playing around with like walls and shit like that, but yeah, like I was saying is I don't know, maybe next time I'll build a smaller room because like this was more manageable. You feel me? Doing like the lighting and stuff like that, adding little decals like scratches to the walls. I feel like Shadowgate might have been influential for Myst slash Riven. Oh shit, really? I was watching a video on Myst like maybe like a week ago or something. And I'll be real with you, man. There's something enticing about Myst. I don't know what it is. It it there's something about a guy like people working on their passion projects that like kind of draws me in. But yeah, as you can see, like if I work on a small room, like it's very easy to populate it with models and decorate it and come up with like ideas and stuff. Yeah, dude, that's what that video is about. Like apparently there's like remakes, there's like a VR Mist or something like that, and I don't know, I heard good things about it, but yeah, it's one of those old kind of games where it kind of just drops you in and you go do your own thing. That's dope though. I'll have to check it out. That what was that game called? Hexen and Shadowgate. I'll check those out for sure, man. Oh, if there's one thing I can show, let me show you the music I made recently for this project. Oh, you remember when they came out, eh? Super popular. But I didn't have a PC that I could play them. Oh shit. They came out in like the mid 90s, I think. I think early to mid 90s or something they came out. Maybe 2000s. Turn off this music. I'm like... Hexen was one of those N64 games I rented, but I could never get very far in. Great atmospheric track, thank you. Man, I gotta play these games. I don't know what it is. I'm probably because I've been working on dungeon stuff for like a year, but something just draws me into those games now. I'm like, I want to learn more about them. I want to know about the developers and what they went through to build a game like that. And I think Myst was like two brothers. It was like one dude did like the 3D and the music, the other guy like programmed it. But they were like the fucking voice actors and stuff, man. It was so like, I know it's that 90s cheese, but it's so like, these guys had the balls to do that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, nowadays it can be like, wouldn't say cringe. Cringe is probably the wrong word. It's cheesy in my opinion, but there's a charm to it that it's like, yeah, man, like, these dudes just kind of had an idea, went with it, and made something out of it. I don't think a lot of people can attest to that. I think we're coming into a new period similar to that, where average people can put together a game. Bro, I was listening to, like, I posted in your Discord that Two Worlds video. I was listening to that before I started streaming, and the guy said something similar. He's like, back in the 360 days, you could just have like some random group together, like a bunch of indie devs, and get funding and all that, but end up just voice acting their own game and coming up with like their own story and just cobble it together, stuff like that. I'm like, man, that's cool. I know people rip on the game, you know, it's cheap, like, you know, like they laugh at it and all that, but that guy's video kind of highlighted some pretty interesting points about a game like that, Two Worlds. Yeah, no, I legit hope for that kind of era to come back, man. I'm like, I'm not too much into gaming these days myself, but honestly, I don't know. I just like when people have like work on their passion projects. You know what I mean? Something about it's like, yeah, I feel you. You know, like I know how hard that is to put yourself out there and to, you know, make it happen. Yeah, that's what the dude was saying. Like, if you got fucking 4 hours to spare, which I don't think anybody does, I would definitely give this video a watch or a listen. I had it kind of like on in the background as I was tweaking some stuff, but yeah, dude, like, I remember we played it, like, yeah, I think we came out in like 2008 or something, 2007 maybe. But yeah, like, I barely played it, you know, my brothers were playing it mainly, but they were laughing and, you know, they didn't quite enjoy the game as much as we did back then. But looking back at it now, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see the highlights of that game, and yeah, the world in that game was pretty diverse. Also, I like the dialogue. It's like forsooth, mayhaps. No. Yeah, I just got to that part in the dude's video. He's like, there's a sequel to this game, if you can believe it. And I'm like, oh man. I don't know what it is, dude. Like, there's something about these forsooth weary traveler. Dog, there's something about these games that just appeal to me. I don't know what it is. You can show me like the newest game. It's got these new battle royale mechanics. You know, all the characters are ultra detailed, but like, I don't want to say anything bad about, you know, people's games they worked on, but like, I don't give a shit about stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Graphics are, you know, high end, but you give me a game that's like, dude, I built this in like my basement in like fucking 2 years with my friends. It's like, yeah, let me see that shit. Damn, GameSpy ranked it at one out of 5. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, dude. Like even the guy in the that Madular guy in the review video was saying stuff like that. Like, he's like, I understand the hate it got. I understand, but playing it recently, he's kind of like, it's not that bad of a game. Like, sure, there's like certain aspects that could use work, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I think in the second Two Worlds, the guy was talking, maybe it was a different game he was talking about. It was kind of like on in the background, but something about like a wizard build he was doing, and you could have like, you could stack modifiers on your spells, so it's like, okay, it shoots a fireball, right? But then it explodes like boulders out of the enemies, and when those boulders land, they spawn like fucking skeletons. I'm like, man, I wish magic systems are wacky like that, man. First half of the game was super well fleshed out too. Second half was a bit, yeah, dude, you're like nailing every point this guy talked about. Wow, I can't remember the evil guy's name. It was like Ho or like Garamar or something like that. But it's like, again, I'm not ripping on the game. Like, I enjoyed this kind of stuff, but it's just so funny how like in the beginning of the game, like you talk to the evil guy, right? He's like, oh, I'm trying to summon whatever, you know, I'm trying to do something. It's like, dog, you can fucking attack him and then get all the villagers to fucking kill him. All the villagers in the very first like village, like town of the game, can aggro the last boss who you talk to. So you can literally like boot up the game, aggro him, get the villagers to beat the shit out of him, and then beat the game. Like, I love it. I love this kind of stuff. By the time I got past the first half of the map, I was just like, man, I still have a whole other half of the map to explore. Yeah, bro, like, again, I haven't played it like maybe for like half an hour all those years ago, but even when I was watching his video, he's like, you get so many diverse areas in the overworld. It's not just fantasy forests, which is what I thought it was. And then it's like, oh, 2 hours later, and I've explored everything and beat the game. Yeah, so I guess it was kind of rushed, hey? No, it's dope, man. That's dope. I actually, yeah, like if you got the time or, you got, like find the time, whatever, I would definitely give that video a watch. I feel like someone like you who's actually played the game and, like spent time with it might get a kick out of it. For me, it's just like a nostalgia kind of thing, right? Like, I might have to try out the game. Apparently it was on PC too, like, we only played it on 360. Oh, bro, the multiplayer. Again, like, I don't know, I was just watching this video, like, hours ago, but I think it was in the second one, Two Worlds 2, there was, like, a multiplayer. But the guy was saying he played it with, like, his girlfriend or something, and he's like, dude, it's a fucking fun experience co-op. It's not what you'd think it would be. It's actually, like, fun to, like, crawl around, like, do, like, some dungeon crawling and, just pick off enemies, collect loot and stuff like that, so... Yeah, they still have trouble making open world games that are multiplayer. I mean, yeah, man, like, I haven't been into, like, open world games in a minute. Like, maybe the last one I played was, like, Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that, but I agree, man, like... Oh no, like, the last open world... Well, I guess it wasn't open world, but, like, Destiny was, like, the last multiplayer-ish kind of game I played, but... I don't know, I feel like open world can be done better than just... Here's a bunch of icons on the map, go do side quests. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like there could be, like... I don't know, I mean... I don't know, it's hard. I heard good things about Elden Ring, actually. I haven't really played, like, Elden Ring at all, but I've heard good things about how they handled the open world. There's, like, not a lot of hand-holding. They kind of just drop you into the map and away you go. And there's, like, all these things you can encounter. So it's definitely possible. I feel like it could be done for sure. Now, how is that done? I don't know, man. I'm not like a game dev. Yeah, I think most open world games should have some sort of quest design system where you can make your own quests and share them with other players. Yeah, I just want to think about that for a bit. So, like, yeah, if you could elaborate on that, man, like, make your own quests kind of thing, hey? Because once you run out of side quests, the exploration loses its draw, which is sad because a lot of those worlds are awesome to explore. I mean, I guess, okay, like, going way back to PSO, I guess that wouldn't really be called open world. That was more like, like, instance dungeons, just separate dungeons that you can kind of do. But they did have, like, that quest system. Just like how RTS games used to have a map builder. Do the same thing, but you build quests for people. Oh, shit, okay. Oh, okay, I think I'm getting what you're saying now. I think I get what you're saying. It'd be like, yeah, okay. No, I think I know what you mean. Be like kind of like Forge mode in like Halo. It's like I made this game, I made this map, you know, play it up. No, I can hear you on that. I think you're on the right track there. I don't know, man. Like a quest designing game would be difficult for an MMO, but or for a like Breath of the Wild, for instance, has all these cool places to visit, but there's no reason to actually visit them. There aren't any quests or anything. It's just go there for sightseeing. But imagine if fans could insert a quest. Okay. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. That's what kind of... I'll be honest, I never really finished Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, it's kind of like what you said. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, I know it's different for everyone, but for me, it's like, dude, like... Okay, I can travel across Hyrule, sure, but what am I doing? I'm not actually, like... not doing anything. You know what I mean? I don't know. If you let the fans design their own quests, I feel like it'd have to be like a sort of D&D type thing. Like you'd have to have like someone who's really good at DMing to kind of like come up with... Actually, I think that might be cool. Like a D&D multiplayer thing. But what I mean is like a quest designer would have to be someone who has experience like DMing. It can't just be like, go collect 5 chickens. Okay, good. Now go collect 10 chickens. You know what I mean? It would be dope if like a quest designer could be like a DM who's like, okay, you encountered whatever, I don't know, like a skeleton dungeon or some shit like that, and then you encounter a dragon and, you know, he's guarding this certain, like, you know what I mean, like... Good quests get upvoted and reshared, bad quests don't, like Roblox. Okay, shit. Shit, I think you're onto something, man. Like, for real, I think you're onto something with that idea. That's a really interesting thought, man. I never really thought about, like a quest designer in a game like that. I always thought of like just static quests. It's like go and get an escort mission, go take person from A to B, go kill this difficult boss, you know, go do a raid. They could even monetize it if they wanted to. Yeah, no, I think it'd be cool, man. Like honestly, to have like a quest, like a custom quest making kind of game. Definitely be interesting to see. Man, this light's fucking bugging out. Let me just drop it down a bit. Or maybe it's my screen. I don't know. I have no idea why it's bugging out. Yeah, so let's say you want to you don't want to just run across the world or fast travel or whatever, but just do stuff in the area. You want to hang out. I feel you on that, dude. Like that's kind of what I tried to do in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, let me take in the land and, you know, let me try and stop by at like a local shop or something, and then but it's like it always felt so static. I'm like, I'm not actually doing anything relevant. It's just, okay, I go here, I beat this dungeon boss, and then that's it. Kind of like that Shadow of Colossus doesn't have anything to do, but it gets old fast. I haven't really played that one either, to be honest. Like, but yeah, no, like, in these kinds of games, I feel like you need to have a purpose to be there. And like, yeah, I guess some people like what's that term? Like role playing. It's like, oh, I'm a hero. I'm here to help the people of the land. You know, I go and there was a fucking meme I saw. I remember I have like saved in my phone. And guys like, dude, you could literally like walk up to people and ask them, what rumors have you heard? And this guy's like, yo, I literally did that in the Pacific Northwest. I walked into a random bar and I like sat down and asked a random guy, like, what rumors have you heard? And the guy started telling him about like a person that like went missing or some shit. Like, but no, like yeah, like if I'm playing an open world kind of game, dude, it's like I'd prefer to kind of like exist in that world. You know what I mean? Not just, oh, can you go and kill this guy for me? What's the word? Like emergent gameplay or something. But yeah, it's like, or walk and ask people, what rumors have you heard? Like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna lie though, I kind of want to try that next time I'm like I meet people or like I'm in like out in like a bar or something and just sit down, you know, just ask someone what rumors have you heard. Yeah, dude, I don't know. A quest, like a custom quest kind of making system would be a very interesting kind of game to play, especially if it's open world, like an open world multiplayer kind of game. That is definitely something I think would be interesting. Oh, yeah, I remember what I was gonna do. There's a couple of open world games that hit differently for me, as in they're very immersive. Red Dead Redemption 2 and FF15, maybe Horizon Zero Dawn. I played Red Dead like uh, back in like 2018 when it came out, and like it was dope, man. Like it's definitely a really immersive game. I'm surprised that more stuff like that isn't out these days. Actually, I don't know. I guess Horizon Zero Dawn just has a really cool story, and that's the major draw for me. Oh yeah, that's like that. You're like hunting like robot dinosaurs or something. But yeah, like I'll be the first to admit, there's a ton of games that I just have not played or caught up on, but but yeah, dude, like yeah, I could just spend hours hunting and yeah, dude, that's what I mean. Like when I played Red Dead like years ago, it's like I would just I at first I was like, okay, let me get to the next mission, let me get to the next mission, but it would be like you're traveling along the road and this dude's like, hey, I just got robbed or something. Can you help me get my money back? I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, I got a gun. I can help you out. And I kind of just kept doing that, and like, you know, like I just instead of fast traveling, I would just like, okay, let me take my horse, let me go along a path, and I'll find people, and then just do those kind of quests for them, right? And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I definitely wish we had more immersive games like that. It's basically it's far in the future and nobody knows about the past at all. They're very tribal and there's all these robot dinosaurs. So uncovering the mystery is part of the draw. Oh shit, okay. I can get behind that. I can see how the appeal of that. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like there's so many games that I want to kind of try out and play. Like I don't know, I watch a lot of like these retrospectives, right? Cuz like I'm always working on something. So I like to have them on in like the background. Every now and then though, man, I learn about something cool, like an old old school RPG game that was like, I don't know, either very well received or nobody just talks about it anymore. And it's the sad thing, man. There's too many games to play all of them. It's kind of why I live through those retrospectives, man. Like, I get to see what the graphics are. I get to see a detailed breakdown of game mechanics and what the devs were going through and all that. But no, I agree though. There's nothing like playing the actual fucking game, right? But part of it, I don't know. Part of it really kind of speaks to something within me. I'm like, this is a time when games were made by just a bunch of fucking passionate people, you know what I mean? They had a crazy ass idea. It's like, alright, fuck it, we're gonna do it because I want to do it. You might be interested in this game from a game design perspective. I haven't played it yet, but it looks and sounds cool. It's called False Skies. But basically it was designed to look and sound like a Game Boy game. Oh, really? Okay, I'll have to look into it. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's just so many damn games that, like, and it's not just new games. Like, what I mean is, like, old games, too. Like, I learned recently about those marathon games. Like, I knew about them, but I never actually looked into them. But, again, it's, like, it's incredible for the time. I guess back then, Doom was, like, the poster boy for those kind of games, but dudes are, like, like, Marathon did something incredible, like, with their tech, like, to really push the boundary of boomer shooters, or as they're called, I guess. But it's really sick, man. I'm like, man, like, part of me wishes I could have been in that era to play those games, you know what I mean? But I think it was like a Mac, like, exclusive game or something like that, so I don't think it was, maybe not too readily available to everyone, but again, like, just looking at the story of these kinds of games, like even Myst especially, I'm like, man, like, I'll be the first to admit, back in the day, that is not a game I would play. I would be like, what the fuck, man, this shit looks so boring. But now, I don't know, I guess with age, with wisdom, or whatever you want to call it, but now I'm like, okay, I can see myself giving a game like that a shot. There's just something about, like, the uniqueness, I guess you could call it, about the story. I don't know, I don't want to say anything bad about, modern games. Not like I don't hate on people's passions and all that, but it seems like games became way too commercialized these days, and that you don't really get that crew of, like, guys staying up till like fucking 5 in the morning hacking away at code and making their game. Nowadays it's like, everything's just so, like, monetized and, like, corporate. A lot of complications with modern games, man. I was having a chat with some dudes in a Discord server the other day, and we're like, one of the guys brought up, he's like, I can't stand, like, modern graphics in games. Everything looks and sounds the same these days. And it kind of took me back to, like, when I was getting into gaming at, like, like, when every game you would play would be, like, something different, something innovative, something, it could be shitty, they're definitely shitty games, but it's like you just get that spark of creativity, and it's like, man, like, you don't really see this anymore. Yeah, well, definitely a lot of complications with modern games. For a big studio project, there's just too many moving parts. Yeah, man, like, there's too many hands, like, in the pot, or whatever the fucking that saying is. I don't know what the proper saying is, but like, yeah, I agree. You got like too many people involved in a project, and it's not a passion thing. It's not a game that they're making because of passion. It's just a fucking product that they're putting out. People keep complaining about not being playable on release, which I am sympathetic to, but I also feel like a lot of the time these studios have to pull the plug. Because with the amount of staff they have and the expenses they're outputting, they risk going bankrupt. Having investors pull out, 100%, man. It's not just. It's not just a group of your buddies making that game. No, it's literally like, okay, we got deadlines, we got investors, gotta pay for the marketing, gotta fucking cut deals with influencers or some shit like that. Yeah, it's so corporate, man. Like, I don't want to sound like a fucking. I don't know. I don't want to sound like like I'm complaining too much, but like I feel like that passion is missing a lot of the time. It's like you're not a gamer. Like, you know, whoever's in charge of this project, like you're probably not a gamer. You're probably like a business executive or something, and you're like, okay, yeah, we gotta make this game as marketable as it can. Put this feature in, put this in, you know, make these characters like this. And it's like, dude, like, it just not fun. It just looks the same. Just every game looks and feels the same these days. So I don't know, Monster Hunter Wilds is a good example. The PC version still has lots of problems, and it's almost been out for a year. They're still trying to fix the problems and forecasting they'll be working on the problems till at least February. Yeah, okay, like shit like that is unacceptable, man. If I'm paying like fucking $80 or whatever for my game, I expect it to fucking work. Yeah, exactly, dude. A lot of games are samey, falling into the same patterns as Hollywood. All Hollywood movies are the same. Exactly. They make them because it's like, this is the safest bet. This is the most marketable bet. You know, it'll reach the broadest audience, and, you know, fuck the other one. Fuck everyone else. But no, to me, it's like, dude, like, you can't approach games like that. You know, games need to be made with like passion. But there was like a game my cousin showed me. I can't remember the name of it, but he was like, "Yo, this game looks so dope," and I'm like, "I don't know, man. It looks like any other game that came out in like the last 10 years." And he's like, "Yo, man, don't be like an you know, don't be an uncle about it." I'm like, "What are you talking about, man?" I'm like, "This shit looks like." I can't even remember. It was like a third-person shooter game or something, and you're like looting crates, and they fall into one or two categories. Everything is dark and low saturation with Hans Zimmer music, or everything is Disney with John Williams music. I actually felt like that with gaming. Like, I know I was ranting about games, but I felt that way like some time ago with gaming. I was like, what happened to like soundtracks, man? Everything has to be this orchestra music. It sounds so boring. Which, don't get me wrong, Hans Zimmer and John Williams are amazing, but these producers need to stop asking their composers to copy Hans Zimmer and John Williams. Yeah, man, like everything's just calculated these days. It's calculated, so it's the safest bet. But I don't know, man. If I were in charge of a company, or if I was designing a game, which many people think I am, but gotta reiterate, no, I'm not making a game. But no, I agree with you, man. If I was in charge of a game, I would put passionate people first in front of that project. You know what I mean? It's like, I want gamers to be working on this shit. People who actually like the series, or, you know, they fuck with the idea of like whatever the game is, not just here to get a paycheck kind of thing. You know what I mean? Although some of my favorite video game composers are kind of at least a little bit like Hans Zimmer or John Williams copycats. All good, man. I mean, I don't know. I was saying it to someone a few days ago, but like that's the best part about video game music is just how like how unique it can be for like any situation. You know what I mean? Maybe you do need Hans Zimmer type of music. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think it just might be a symptom of like of getting older, I guess. Like your tastes don't really change after a certain age. Sakimoto definitely has John Williams influence, and Hamazu definitely has Hans Zimmer influence, but they're also unique in their own ways. Well, for sure, man. There's nothing wrong with borrowing or getting inspired from a piece of like from an artist or a piece of work. I think it's a good thing, if anything. It's definitely a good thing to be inspired by, like, you know, by other people. I mean, you can't make art in a vacuum, you know what I mean? Everyone at least has some sort of inspiration, I think. Like the FF12 soundtrack. I don't think you're ever gonna hear a soundtrack in a video game that has that sound. It's so unique and so not like any other video game. Oh shit, I gotta look that up. I gotta listen to that. But the opening track could be straight out of Star Wars, eh? I was reading into like some of these like composers and stuff are like movie buffs or like, you know, they're really big fans of other composers and stuff like that, so they take inspiration into their own work. Which I think is the right idea, man. I don't know, man. I kind of wish for I don't know. It's a weird feeling I have. Like I want to like go back and play so many of these old school RPGs. Like I know people say, excuse me. Like I know it's like, oh, it's janky or it's I had something in my throat. You know, it's like, oh, it's janky or it's like, why even bother playing something like that? And to me, it's like, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, but it's about the experience of like, like I know obviously if I play a, you know, a 90s game today, it's like it doesn't hit the same, but part of me just likes to think about that headspace for a bit. It's like, what would it really be like if this was a game like Myst? You're dropped into this mystical kind of world, to use the term loosely, and it's up to you to wander around, click things, and figure things out, right? I'm like, a game like that, of that caliber back then, must have been something special. Because, you know, like, oh, these graphics are fucking sick, and, you know, it's, the story's so deep or whatever, but, you know, looking, like, back with, what do you call it, like, nostalgia goggles, whatever. Yeah, I can see there's, may not be the best, you know, most groundbreaking thing, but I try to keep that headspace when I think about these older games, man. Hamazu, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, is also a musical genius, but I do feel his work is a bit harder to appreciate. Like, you have to actually think about what you're listening to, or maybe harder to understand is a better way of putting it. He did the FF12 soundtrack, you saying? I'll have to look him up and actually listen to some of his work. You never know him, you know, maybe he inspires me to put that kind of stuff into my own work too. It's weird, man. Inspiration can come from like just about anywhere. Oh, Hamazo is FF13. Am I reading that right? Yeah, 13 primarily. Sakimoto is 12. Okay, shit. I remember we played 13 years ago. Well, I honestly, bro, I fucking love the aesthetic of 13. There was something so futuristic about it that was just so cool to me. But yeah, dude, like, I'll have to look at those OSTs again. I'll have to listen to them again. I was listening to a review of the FF13 soundtrack recently from a podcaster I was listening to, and he brought up a crazy point. What did he bring up? He listened to the 13 soundtrack from start to finish and didn't get it at all until he listened to the closing credits soundtrack. Then listened back and was like, okay, now I get it. I can understand that, to be honest. Sometimes it takes a bit of time for something to sink in. But honestly, that's fucking cool, man. Like, to take the time to actually like appreciate someone's work and sit down with it and absorb it, I guess, like take it in at your own pace. I feel like that's definitely something that needs to be done more. It is such technically rich music. I think it's also hard to understand sometimes because you don't really know you don't really know what you're listening to. So like, was he talking about like the composition of it, or like like the music theory of it, or was he talking like a lot of the chord progressions he uses are very uncomfortable feeling, but he does it on purpose? Oh, I think I may have seen that video. I think so. I think I know what you're talking about. I want to say that sounds familiar, but yeah. Shit. But also he'll do all of these static rhythmic piano jabs that build up a ton of tension. It's almost like noise, but it's literally just one note that plays the entire track. Oh man. That's the kind of shit that like I kind of wish I could get more into with my own music, of like of like intention and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like all these little subtleties to the music. And then it takes, you gotta listen to it a few times to really get it, kind of thing. But no, I'm not really at that level, to be honest. I think that takes like years of practice and like training to properly do that. Yeah, it's really hard. I've been trying to learn piano to try to figure it out. I don't know. I've always disregarded piano, to be honest. Like not in a bad way. Like I don't have anything against it, but for me, I don't know. I guess I should learn how to play the keys. There's just something about it that's so like daunting and intimidating. You know what I mean? Like especially when you start learning about like chord progressions and all these technical things or like musical theory things. Oh, he wrote the Besaid track for FF10. Oh shit, that was him. You gotta be kidding me. I love that song, man. I used to listen to that fucking soundtrack a lot when I used to study in like college. And yeah, that Besaid Island theme, man, that was always like, it was always so calming. It was always so peaceful to listen to. Yeah, his piano work is so good in that. But there's just a lot of signatures of his work in there. Lots of techno sound, arpeggio, atmospheric string instruments. That's what it's about, man. Finding your own sound and really, I don't know, I guess, like struggling to think of the word, but like putting a piece of like your soul into that music. You know what I mean? It's like you can hear it in, you know, like in different soundtracks kind of thing. And on some other tracks, he gets super experimental with combining techno and piano solos and string instruments. That's, yeah, dude, I like that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, you know, I like predictable, you know, good music, right? Like, you know, you can follow along with it, but something to be said about the experimental kind of stuff, too. I think that really speaks to me, too. Especially when you know what you're doing, right? Like when you're skilled enough to like purposely throw in a bit of experimentation and stuff like that, then I think it really can really add to the soundtrack. I don't know, speaking of music, man, have you been making music recently or what? Like, I know you've been busy streaming and working and stuff, but I don't know, just curious if you've been like making tunes recently. Alright, let's fucking take a look at this now. I've been like just scattering a bunch of random stuff. Okay, full screen this. I always forget the damn vines, man. I want to put more vines into my work. Or into the scene. I did a few. Okay. Let's just take a look at this. Oh, I like this. I like this red carpet, man. I feel like this adds a little bit more to this bridge thing. Just gonna drag some of these vines down a little bit. Not a bad layout, to be honest. I was kind of nervous about how I'm gonna fill out this dungeon or this huge ass room, and there's still a bit more to fill out, but but I like how it turned out so far. And I knew I could use these little candles somewhere. I can use them to kind of light up the tables a little bit. I don't know. I feel like this corner is a little bit too dark, so I'll probably do something with that later. Or knowing me, I'll just throw a torch over there. I gotta say though, man, like it's actually walking around in this layout and just looking at like all this is some fucking horror shit, man. Why does this keep fucking drag this down a little bit more? Oh, it might just be there's too many shadows or something. Anyway, like I was saying, it's kind of spooky when it does that. It's kind of surreal to actually walk around in this and Was it always gonna do that? Maybe. Maybe I'll just throw candles on these tables. It's kind of surreal to just walk around like these tables and actually see everything put together and, you know, nearly complete. And because to me it's like this stuff is never done. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this for a long time at this point, and to actually see it in action is really something else. I don't know, I guess this is like a dining hall kind of thing. And of course this spooky hallway, which I put a fountain at the end of. Why would there be a fountain at the end of here? I don't know. You tell me. Oh, okay, one last thing I'll check, just for the sake of it, is to put the fog back on. I know it's gonna... Yeah, I just want to see how it adds. Yeah, I can see why I prefer to just render out animations as opposed to like walking around, because you can kind of see it, like shit gets... Oh, wait a minute. I have a thought here. I think my light source in my camera is glitching out. It's like clipping into the floor. I'm just gonna turn it off and see if that fixes it. No, it doesn't. It's just fucked. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep adding and adding and adding to this. I kind of like the layout of this dungeon for now. I feel like it looks presentable, pretty decent. But again, maybe next stream I'll just stick to a smaller room again, because kind of demanding to do such a huge room and populate it and fill it out with stuff. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for me. I think I'll just skip the streaming bumper, or maybe I'll put it on for a bit. And I'll take off this pixel filter because it's kind of making my eyes hurt a bit. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is what the dungeon pack I've been working on is leading up to. Not the fog. That fog doesn't come with the pack, but candles, torches, decals, banners, walls, ceilings, which are just floors, prefabs, you know, like all sorts of things that you can use to make a dungeon. Now, why would you want to make a dungeon? I don't know. That is not my problem. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I just want to say, you know, thank you to everyone for tuning in and, you know, checking out the stream. You know, thank you to Void for having a nice conversation about games and stuff. And if you haven't seen his work, let me see if I can advertise him. Just open up Twitch. I close it when I'm streaming because I do that. Can I go add Void? Yeah. Check out Void's streams and channel and YouTube. YouTube channel. I can't even spell at this point, man. Damn. What is Void Monies? You'd think I would know this. Give me one sec. Voidmon 3Y. I really should set up like bots and stuff for this, but kind of not at that stage yet. I'll link his YouTube as well. But yeah, definitely check out Void Money's YouTube and his Twitch. He does a lot of cool things, to be honest. And I'm not just saying that. What? No, for real. Like he's honestly a really chill streamer. He knows a lot about like old school games. You know, if you're into that, or if you're like a fan of that kind of stuff, definitely check him out. I personally like his PSO lore videos. I find them to be very entertaining. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna cut the mic, play the streaming bumper for a little bit, and then head out. But yeah, the journey continues. I continue to build a layout for this dungeon asset pack, and it's harder than I thought it would be. I'll be the first to admit. All right, I'm out. I'm out. Peace.